Over 80 countries in the world have recorded cases of the coronavirus, with over 95,000 cases. While the World Health Organization (WHO) has raised the risk level to very high, countries are taking measures to curtail the spread of the virus. However, several myths and facts are evolving, and my guest on this week's episode of the program lays them bare. Hello, it's good to have you join us on Dateline Abuja. I'm Ibrahim Adra. 310 health workers have been trained on how to identify and contain the coronavirus in the Federal Capital Territory. Bed spaces have also been created at the National Hospital and the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital for patients who may contract the virus. FCT in Focus this week looks at the level of preparedness by the Federal Capital Territory for any outbreak of coronavirus.
Following the index case of the coronavirus in Nigeria, governments at the subnational level are taking preventive measures against any outbreak of the disease. The World Health Organization had listed the Federal Capital Territory and 8 states as high-risk areas for the coronavirus outbreak. The assessment probably took the direction because of the frequent travels between Nigerians and the Chinese. Residents of the Federal Capital Territory say they have nothing to fear.
It's just for one to be careful and be clean, use your hand sanitizer, make sure you always wash your hands. I like washing my hands all the time.
I think I have a mask, and I'm also teaching my children how to sanitize themselves too, or they can wash their hands if they do anything, minimize the way they move, where we go, where we don't go, and all that.
Face masks and hand sanitizers are now either expensive or scarce.
It was very difficult to get the hand sanitizer. It was more difficult than even the mask. We had to go really far. Like this one, we got it for 7,500. You have, for a box, you have like 50 pieces in it. You don't wear it over and over, you just wear it once. So I have a pack of this.
Some of the hospitals we contacted declined to respond on how prepared they are, but the FCT administration is preparing for any case.
We have trained 310 healthcare workers comprising of doctors, nurses, and lab scientists on how to identify and manage these cases, especially coronavirus. We just ended one training last week and we started another set this week. So we've trained the healthcare workers, we've sensitized them, and we have provided the materials they need. We prepositioned the PPE, the personal protective equipment in the hospitals, and we train them not only coronavirus. We are talking about the disease problem. We know that seasonally you battle with different diseases. So if you are taking only one, you don't have to wait for the other one to come on board. So we did everything encompassing, training them on 7 epidemic-prone diseases. We're concentrating on coronavirus before it even came into Nigeria. And we have our hospitals where we have made available bed spaces for management of these patients in case we get any. 2 bed spaces in National Hospital and 2 in the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital in their isolation unit that are permanently there in case we have such patients. And for us, we have a serious and strong surveillance system in place. What we need to do now is to intensify the sensitization of the community, the FCT populace, on the signs and symptoms of COVID-19, on the need to visit health facilities when they have such symptoms and get appropriately tested, diagnosed, and treated. Because for us to cut down the mortality or the case fatality, as the case may be, is to diagnose those patients promptly and then treat them promptly so that we don't have any mortality on us. We are fully prepared in FCT.
Beyond planning preventive measures to manage the outbreak, Professor Abdusalami Nasidi, who led the team that handled the Ebola virus in 2015, believes COVID-19 can be dealt with just like the Ebola virus.
But this one, it can be spread through, air, through droplets, and also it's very highly contagious like the Ebola virus. So by touching the patient too, by touching what they have touched, or even touching the surface where their droplets have landed on, you will be able to catch this infection. So we have, formed what we call our response team in Nigeria, and we use Nigeria experience to also establish ECOWAS, CDC, and then what we call now ECOWAS Rapid Response Team. So Nigeria has already a ready-to-go response team that worked on the Ebola. They can be mobilized now and to go and do aggressive contact tracing. Then West Africa is also there. We have trained so many people from different countries by Nigerian CDC and then by the ECOWAS CDC, and these people are on standby. So we can mobilize them. We don't need to wait until every country is caught before we engage them. We should bring them in. We should bring them from all the West African countries to come and face Lagos, do aggressive contact tracing, be ahead of that virus and contain it within the primary and secondary contacts. So these are the things that I think we should do. We've learned a lot, from the past, and Albert Einstein says only the fools learn from their own experience. We can also learn from other countries' experience. Luckily, many other countries have been affected before us. So we should go and see what is it that they have done immediately now, that they are managing to at least reduce, if not the cases, but deaths, like what China is doing to reduce the number of deaths.
In spite of the index case, public awareness is key. Everyone is advised to, among other things, maintain good respiratory hygiene and regularly wash their hands thoroughly with soap and water. Hand sanitizers are valuable companions at a time like this as well.